Merry Christmas, everybody. In Sweden, we'll be celebrating Christmas tomorrow, and therefore I wanted to come online and share with you my list of Christmas perfume recommendations. So this is not a Christmas gift recommendation list. It is perfumes that I think are suitable to celebrate Christmas in. Not all of these would be a safe gift to buy somebody. So, I mean, it's difficult to buy. That's a whole different video. Okay, so first on my list is something that is no longer in my collection. I used to have like a bigger, like a travel size. I found it kind of difficult to wear. I thought it was too sweet at the time, but now I really would have wanted to wear it for Christmas, so I should have kept it. It's from the house of Ormaie, house with all natural ingredients, and it's called 1812. And the name refers to the 18th of December. And it's kind of like a gourmand, a cherry gourmand kind of fragrance. I think it has some florals, it has sugar, it has also lychee that does bring in a little bit of a tartness. I remember when I was trying it out for the first time, I was trying Sin and Pleasure next to it from Born to Stand Out, and this one is like not at all sweet compared to that. But now I like Sin and Pleasure, which I didn't at the time. I thought it was way too sweet. So I think I'm kind of working my way into sweeter fragrances, and I think I might today have really enjoyed 1812. And another thing about 1812, it's like it's also a little powdery. I think it might have heliotrope. It really gives me like vibes of like money and like elegance. It's very elegant, very perfumey. It's a perfumey kind of gourmand. It's not like a baking goods kind of gourmand. It doesn't smell like a cake. It just smells really sophisticated. I think it would be a perfect Christmas fragrance. Second on my list is no other than this masterpiece, Oud Satin Mood from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This is so rich. This is rose. This is oud. Not super much oud. It's vanilla. It has some violet. It's just undescribably beautiful. And I don't use the word masterpiece a lot, but I really think this is a masterpiece, and it would suit Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, whichever you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate Christmas at all, a big holiday. This would work on any big holiday. And then there's this one I talked about in my former video, Frustration from Etat Libre, which is the perfect also Christmas fragrance. It's like, it has chestnut, it has vanilla, it has some boozy note, I think rum, maybe some woodsy notes, I think guaiac wood. It's really, really cozy. It has a tad, there's a little bit of smokiness in here too. It's just so good, so good. Frustration from Eldo. And then there is, this one I'm actually wearing today. It's called Eau de Mystique from Wesker. It's this house from, I think they're based in Munich, but these guys are from either the Czech Republic or Slovakia. I can't remember. This is a honey fragrance. Honey and maybe myrrh, maybe incense. I'm not quite sure of the exact notes. Maybe vanilla. It's kind of spicy, balsamic. There's a very, very strong, beautiful honey note in here. Wesker is the house. Eau de Mystique. The bottle is beautiful as well. They've gone a little overboard on the bottle. I think, my personal taste. I like more bottles that look like this. This brings me to my next recommendation. This is like more of a Scandinavian type of bottle. Le Lion from Chanel. This is this leans a little bit masculine, perhaps. It has a very smoky, leathery quality. I mean, it's birch tar. It's not listed, but I'm sure it's birch tar. But it's heavy on the labdanum, which is comes across as leathery, I think, and sometimes has a smokiness to it. But this is a patchouly, I think, a really beautiful vanilla. It's just so gorgeous. Perfect amber for Christmas. Le Lion from Chanel. And then Journey Woman is another recommendation from Amouage. And this one reminds me a little bit of Eau de Mystique that I talked about. But this is heavier on the osmanthus, so it gives off a little fruity and leathery vibe. And it's a little floral. It's a typical Middle Eastern Amouage layered perfume that you just feel wrapped up in it. It's just beautiful. These two, actually, Eau de Mystique and these Journey Woman, I kind of reach for a lot because they're kind of in my downstairs bathroom and they're just like easy to reach when I feel like at night, maybe I'll just take a little spray. Like if I'm going to bed in 2 hours, then I don't want to like wrap myself up in perfume. I sleep without perfume. I really feel like my senses need a break. And I mean that these are they're chemicals in here. I'm sure it's not that great for you to keep breathing this all day long and all night long. Another honey fragrance that is just beautiful that would suit Christmas is Bengale Rouge from Papillon, created by Liz Moores. She's created everything from this house. This is like myrrh. This is probably vanilla, maybe sandalwood, a very strong honey note. So there's an animalic touch to this fragrance. It's heavy. I mean, this has been, I think I've, sold a decant out of this one. I have not worn this a lot. It's really heavy. It calls for a special occasion like Christmas, I would say, or like going out or an event or something, because it's really special. It's super satisfying to wear it. And then there's something that reminds a little of Oud Satin Mood. I was crazy about this a few years ago. It's Oud Bouquet. Look at that juice. The older version of Oud Bouquet. The new formula is a little different, a little more praline-like, but this is also like a rose oud vanilla. It's really, really beautiful. I mean, but I'm so glad I got rid of the bottle, because I hardly ever wear it. It's so heavy. But it is beautiful, and it would suit Christmas perfectly. I'm not sure they sell this anymore. Please let me know in the comments if you know if they do or not, because I mean, it would take someone like forever to go through I think that these bottles are 75 ml. I think so. Or no, the old one was, and the new one is 100. It would take like forever to use it all. And then I have a designer here that made the list, and it's called Flower by Kenzo. And I think actually the name is a little misleading, because when I hear like a perfume is called Flower, it's like I think of white florals. I think of typical designer fragrances, like fruity florals, really boring fragrances. But this smells like niche to me. This is more about the incense, about the vanilla. It has violet. It's like a heavy niche, really satisfying fragrance. And I remember I wore this to a bachata workshop, and somebody, a total stranger, just, he was just like, oh my God, you smell so good. When I was wearing this, I think it would suit Christmas really well. And this is really not a floral fragrance. I remember the master perfumer, Natalie Lorson. I'll never forget this. In an interview, she was asked, what fragrance do you wish you had created? And she said this one, Flower by Kenzo. And then my two last ones on the list, one of them is Tolu from Ormonde, which is kind of it's also like an amber. It's a balsamic, Tolu balsam heavy floral fragrance. And it has some herbs in here as well, like clary sage, I think. And it's just really, I sprayed some here just recently. You have to kind of wait for the dry down, because it's a little sharp right in the opening. It's really, really good. It would also suit Christmas really well. It has that balsamic. I mean, maybe you guys want to wear fresh things for Christmas. I feel that when I put together this list, I feel like, spices and woods and kind of all these, maybe patchouli and vanilla, tonka, like these heavier, satisfying fragrances for the holidays. I mean, maybe a milky tea fragrance would work for you, or you might be somewhere where the sun is shining and it's really hot, so maybe you'll wear something else. Oh, this morning I wore, if you're in a hot place, I'm going to add this as an extra bonus recommendation. If you're in a hot place, I would wear, like even in a beach town or something, wear Santal Complète from Fragrance du Bois. It's just a beautiful sandalwood fragrance that has like a little lemon and coconut in the top. So it gives a little bit of like a suntan lotion vibe almost, but in the best way possible. I mean, it has black pepper. It has, what else is in there? It just has this really, the coconut and the lemon together with the sand. It's so sparkly somehow. There's something really, really special about that fragrance. I used to own a bottle, but I never wore it because it wears off really quickly. But when you're wearing it, and you can still smell it, it smells really, really good. Also, not so much happens. When you first spray it on, it kind of, it doesn't have any layers. What you smell in the beginning is what you get. And I just kind of figured it out pretty quick, and it had to leave my collection because it was just standing there. But I would think that would really work in a Christmas environment in a hot climate. And then my last one on the list is kind of a new discovery for me. from Armani Privé. It is Indigo Tanzanite. It's a beautiful, like patchouli leaning gourmand. So if you're kind of on the edge, like the love-hate kind of fence about patchouli, this might be a fragrance to start exploring it, because it is so sweet. And I have to spray it like as we're talking about it, just to kind of, oh, now I remember. This one smells a little bit like Grand Soir from MFK. It's like they use the same labdanum or the same patchouli. I don't know. I don't even know if that one has patchouli listed. That's more of an amber. This is more of a patchouli fragrance, but it's a patchouli gourmand. It doesn't have that, you know, patchouli can be really sharp, like in the opening, like the first 15 minutes, like the Profumum Roma patchouli, you have to wait for kind of a long time before it like goes to that deep, dark, soft territory. But this is like good right away. It's so good. The longevity though is not great. And if I saw this bottle secondhand, I would probably buy it if it was a pretty good price, but it is really expensive. I don't think I would pay it considering the longevity is so poor, but it would be a perfect Christmas fragrance. Okay, so I'm in the next couple of days or weeks going to make a few more videos that are coming up on this channel. I'm going to make one called it's going to be called Great New Discoveries of 2024. I've already made the list. It's 25 fragrances that are kind of new, have been new to me. Not necessarily were they launched in 2024, but they were new to me. And then I also have a New Year's recommendations list that I will make next week, a few days before New Year's Eve. And then I also, those were the ones that I've been thinking of. But I saw kind of a lot of people writing, making lists of most worn fragrances. And to me, this is like, they're making it up. I think if you are someone who works with perfume, or you make videos regularly, or an influencer or something, there is no time for most worn. I mean, even the ones that I like are most worn, maybe it's this one. Like it's been less than 5 times, like in the last half year. During the whole year, maybe 5 times. So, I mean, that might be most worn to me. It's not like it's hardly going to show that I've taken anything, you know. It's like, because I'm always so busy with trying new fragrances, and I don't even make videos like daily or anything. So, like, when are they trying all these fragrances? It's not possible to try that many fragrances. So how can they have a most worn? And they say, you know, I always keep it by I heard someone say this today in a video. I always keep this by my shelf where I go out, and I always spray it before I leave the house. Like, no, it can't be true, because she's constantly trying new things. And how could she always wear this certain fragrance? I just don't, there's just no, they only have 24 hours a day, you know, and they only have so much skin to put perfume on. So I don't really buy this thing that they're always wearing it, always getting compliments, always this, always that. It sounds good, but I don't believe in these, I don't know, I don't buy that kind of stuff, because the influencer world is really starting to piss me off. Excuse my language, but I don't think it doesn't sound trustworthy to me. I don't buy it. As soon as they start talking about stuff like that, I turn it off. I mean, it's not like, I hardly ever wear my bottles, because I'm constantly trying the samples, the travel size, the most recent purchases, and then I'm on to the next thing. And I know that this is what people do that are into fragrance. They're always trying the next thing. So when do they actually wear a fragrance? No, they're always trying fragrance. But okay, I'm going to stop this little rant. People can do what they want. People can listen to what they want. I don't know. And this thing with being completely honest, but they received the bottle for free. I just don't buy it. It is not possible to be completely honest if someone is giving you a bottle. It just doesn't. At least for me, that doesn't work that way. And I mean, we're all human, and we want to please. If someone's given us something, we don't want to, you know, trash it. And I mean, maybe there are not so many fragrances that I would trash anyway, but if I wanted to trash it, I want to be able to do it. Or if I think this is totally not worth the money, or this is not, has terrible longevity, or the notes clash, or it smells cheap, or it smells artificial. I'm going to tell you about a fragrance that I thought was really bad that I tried. Was it earlier? It was yesterday. It's called Dambrosia from Profumum Roma, and it smells artificial to my nose. It's really fruity, and I think the notes are like pear, grape, well, let me see, pear, grape, some other fig, pear, grape, and fig, and then it's like sandalwood and something else, and it just, it smells like a scratch and sniff book, honestly, like that my mother used to read to me when I was little, and you know, you scratched and it smelled like fake peach or something. I think it had almond. It had a little bit of that almond, kind of weird almond quality. I really, really didn't like that fragrance, and I really like Profumum Roma as a house, but this one was bad. This was a bad fragrance. So I just wanted to give you the good and the bad, because I don't know, there has to be something bad, right? Or at least something that didn't, I don't have to say it's bad. It wasn't my taste. I'll put it that way. It wasn't my taste at all. Okay, Merry Christmas to you all. Bye-bye.